Welcome to the dark side of NHL 95. Good evening, hockey fanatics. This is your host, Ultra Magnus, for a special edition of Dark Side of 95. This is going to be more towards our Dark Side of 95 tournament, which is going to be taking place tomorrow. And for this reason of this video is just to give you guys the 10 teams in each bracket, so the two groups of 10, or pending if there's anybody who can't make it or can't be a part of it, we're going to wheel it off. So whatever group you're in, first 10 players will be a part of Group A. Next 10 will be a part of Group B. So making this video is just to scroll off so that we can see who's going to be with who, and we're going to go from there. So let's kick it off with the first person in Group A. So Nate MB, one of the Waterloo crew, probably one of the top 5, probably I'd say the top 10 NHL 95 players in the world. We have our own online league, and Nate Dogg is probably up there, other than eating horse on his excursions in the Middle East. He's going to lead the pack for the first group of Group A. Really good player, solid, known for a Taipei dump in our WNHL 95 league, and very effective defensively, high-powered offense whenever he gets a good chance. So the next person joining him in Group A. Little Jedi guy. We have no idea who he is. From what we gather, these might be a group of Torontonians, and we'll just go on the assumption that everybody's from Waterloo, so these guys are all going to be good. So he'll be joining Nate in that group. Next guy. GM Derek Sutton. Mr. Derek Sutton joining the group, another WNHL 95 player, a partial Waterloo crew. Very strong player, learning the ropes, has the skills to be able to do a lot of damage in this tournament. We'll just see how that basically translate from our league, our online league, to retro gaming on a console. But I got a feeling he's that type of player that's probably been holding out for a show like this to be able to compete with everybody. So Derek Sutton joins Group A as the third team. Fourth team. Mr. Tex, another WNHL 95 person, known more for NHL 94. Strong offensive talent, strong player, has the real ability to maybe take a lot of people by surprise in this tournament. He's playing in our lower tier, but he took everybody by surprise. So let's see how he stacks up against some higher competition of WNHL 95, NHL 95 players, and anybody else who's not considered a lower part of our league. But Mr. Tex, let's see if he's more like Mr. T instead of Mr. TX. We're going to say Mr. T because he's there to terminate people. Terminator! Come on, Mr. Tex! You can do it! Joins the fourth team in Group A. Fifth team. Segathon, the granddaddy, the grandpappy, Mr. Toes, Mr. Dirty Down B, Segathon. One of the founders of our league, one of the founders of online gaming, one of the founders of tribes, whatever you want to call it, a staple in our league. a staple in the NHL 95 platform. Really just an all-around world-class player in his manual goalie, and also just how he plays the dirty down B. If you haven't seen it, and you're going to see it early and often, and he'll take advantage of everybody. So another Segathoner joining the crew all the way from Mini. If you would want to find out where they sell the smallest soda pops, it's in Minnesota. He's coming all the way out from Viking country. So he joins the other ones in Group A. Laredo. I don't know if this is Laredo, Texas. Another one of those guys, we have no clue who they are. So we go on the assumption, Waterloo. He's going to terminate it, and we're not going to really care about it. But let's find out. So another assumption of Waterloo. Brian 45. Brian 45, another Torontonian, I believe. He'll be joining Group A. Not 100% sure who he is, so maybe he might be able to show us up, and maybe it'll take a lot of people by surprise. And this will be the same complexity for anybody that we're not familiar with in the league. And since this is the first live, true NHL 95 tournament outside the tribes, which the World Championships are out of Waterloo, Sagathon, High, Boston, even in Finland. So let's find out who else is going to be joining the groups. I think there's 3 more being added. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 more being added. So let's find out who is number 8 on the docket to join this group. It looks like 8 Brick. So this is another one of those groupings of Torontonians. We have no assumption of who they are, what they're capable of, and what their skills are like, but let's go on the assumption they're Waterloo. Group A has 2 more to add. Let's find out the last 2. This is the big wild card. The king, the big man, the one that can do no harm, the one who destroys everybody, King Raph. Well known for being the top player in the world for NHL 94, came to our online league, won the first season as an NHL 94 person for NHL 95, and adding him to the mix is an asterisk because it all depends on what he does with 94, and will he have the energy or the patience to deal with NHL 95 late in the evening, especially in a grouping with the Dirty Down B, GM Derek Sutton, and the Taipei dump. It's going to be an interesting mixture, but we'll find out. And who knows, Mr. Tex might have his number from 94 to bring him into 95, but we don't know. And then the last person adding to Group A, let's find out who that person is. Unholy. The Unholy Grail. Another fabulous player. Probably, if anybody's ever watched Twitch online, he has the best backdrops. He has stellar skills along the boards. There's not many people in the league in our league that I feel that has better abilities around the boards or anticipation around boards than Unholy. His manual goaltending is getting there. Overall, he's a very aggressive player, but also he takes advantage of your weaknesses as well as any of your mistakes. So another great person to close out Group A. And these next 10 people are all Group B, but we'll have a discussion of each one as I spin the wheel. We'll have a quick little discussion about each one, just so that we can have a little bit of background. Myself, Ultra Magnus, even though I don't know how to spell it correctly. Basically, I'm the commissioner of our online leagues. The Q and the WNHL 95. Also on top of it too, the most impatient GM probably in the league outside of the Highland Wolf, who's a part of the High Tribe, who is not attending this year. I'm known for the Magnus Clapper. Some of you will see it, some of you won't. But if anybody knows me well enough, they know that apparently by GM Derek Sutton, I'm a one-trick pony. Let's find out if that pony is my stallion to be able to ride off into the sunset. But let's find out. The next person joining me, which these all are, Circle. No idea who you are. We don't know. We'll find out. Assumption, Waterloo. He's a Montreal Canadiens fan, so you might be using Montreal quite often. We don't know. Another Waterloo assumption. I think there's 3 more people in this group that or 2 more people in this group that we're gonna assume that they're a Waterloo grouping, but we'll find out. Techno John. I had the luxury of Techno John at the second tournament back in March. Strong NHL 95 player, more known for the 94 league. One of the brains of the Second-Thon tournament, because everybody gets a little sloppy, a little bit of toes and shirts off, go a long way in those tournaments. But Techno John might be the surprise stallion to be able to take on a lot of people in this tournament. I'm just curious to see what he's able to bring to the table, since I didn't get to play him in the Second-Thon tournament. But it'd be really interesting to find out what he's capable of doing in a live tournament on the bigger stage. Not saying Second-Thon's a bigger stage, but this is probably the biggest stage. It's just fun to spin wheels. Everybody likes wheels. Other than the name, if anybody knows what it is, he's got the catchiest name so far. So we'll leave it at that. Waterloo Assumption. Very odd addition. One of the first few people that joined the 95 tournament bandwidth to find out who's going to be participating in this tournament. In Corbett KB, I don't know, never played him in 95. Probably some people have, and they probably have a little bit more background on him, but he is a very strong 94 player. So 94 guys that we found out for these 95 leagues and these 95 tournaments is that 94 translates very well to 95 with the anticipation of passing and taking your time. We're going to find out. All these people are asterisks. We don't really know. We'll know it by the end of this tournament, by the end of the weekend. But Corbett KB joining Group B. So we got 4 teams left to kind of just overview. 3 of these 4 find out. Ruski. He might be Russian. We don't know. He might like vodka. We don't know. We're going to find out. It's all good. But Ruski, Assumption, Waterloo. The next one joins Thrill House. I don't know how much of a thrill he's going to have. He might end up thrilling himself. But at the end of the day, another 94 guy joining the group. Have no clue. We'll find out what he's capable of. Maybe a potential joiner and down the road. But 94 guys. 94 guys, I'm always going to assume they're better than the Waterloo guys for one aspect. Experience in online play. But this is in person. We're going to find out what his shtick is. With Mr. Smarterpreneur. But Thrill House. Joining Group B, the last 2 people. Just like spinning the wheel. Who doesn't? Mac and cheese! Or is that? Yeah, mac and cheese. I was going to say macon and bacon. But mac and cheese, another Assumption, Waterloo. We have no clue who he is. He's probably another Torontonian. And then the last person, LHX. Probably top 5 player in the world. From our viewpoint, from our steady 5 seasons of play of online. One of the weirdest styles to play, one of the founders of a lot of different styles of our league, and a lot of people have adapted their game based on what he's done. I've had my experience playing him. We had a best of 7 series that went to game 7 last season, which was amazing. just having him in the group is going to be fun. And then we're going to also have a bunch of guys that we don't know. So just from this alone, it's going to be a great tournament. It's going to be the first time we're doing it. Dark Side of 95. It's going to be fun. Everybody gets to play 6 games. Everybody in your group, you play them once at least, because there's another group. We're going to have 3 groups of 7, so you play everybody once. And then the last group's going to be 6, so you might play one person twice. But that's it. Then basically the way we're going to do it, the bottom 4 teams from each group will do a play-in series of the best of 3 against each other. And then those 2 winners will go into the bracket against the 1 and 2 seed on each side. And then from there, the losers of those 2 games, or those 4 games, will go down into the elimination bracket. And then from there, we'll be going through the whole process. I believe everything is a best of 3 series up until the finals, which is a best of 5, which anybody from the lower, the elimination bracket makes it all the way through. Well, I believe gets an opportunity, but against the guy who's in the finalist of the winners bracket, gets to play against them, but he's down 1-0 in the series, so he has to win 3 out of 4 to win the title. So, you have complaints? Don't blame me, blame the wheel. Have a good night, and this is Ultra Magnus. See you this weekend.